Bonjour, aujourd'hui nous allons faire une leçon sur le passé composé. So you either have this exact reference sheet in front of you, or you already completed it in class, or you will be getting in class tomorrow. So any of those three options are possible, but what I'm going to do is talk you through it en anglais, okay, in case there are some questions that have come up when I've explained it en français, or when I will explain it en français. So I'm just going to walk you through this reference sheet. Okay, so the passé composé, the word composé. So it basically means it's composed of two different verbs. Okay, so you have your helping verb, your verb auxiliaire, which is suis, and you've got your past participle, your participe passé, which is the past participle of aller. Okay, and of course we have to add an extra e here because that is a Dr. and Mrs. P. Vandertramp verb, which I'll get to in a second. So that one's conjugated with être. The verb voir, vous avez vu, okay, again, composed of two different words. You've got your avez, which is your helping verb, your verb auxiliaire, and you've got your past participle of voir, which is vu. It's an irregular past participle. Again, we'll get to those in a second. Okay, so just to point out that passé composé is composed of two different words. Okay, so again, this just explains the verb auxiliaire, okay, what the verb auxiliaire is. Okay, which is the helping verb. It is either être or avoir. Okay, most take avoir. There are a few that take être, and we'll talk about those in a minute. Okay, so let's scroll down the reference sheet. Okay, now the verbs that take être, we learn them as an acronym. Okay, it's the easiest way to learn them. Notice I've underlined all of the first letters of each of these verbs, and they spell Dr. Mrs. P. Vandertramp. Okay, so if I were to write that out for you, it would look like this: Dr. Mrs. P. Vandertramp. Okay, so those are the first letters of all of the verbs that take être in the passé composé. Okay, you'll notice they're all action verbs, like descendre, to go down, rester, to stay, monter, to go up, retourner, to return, sortir, to go out, etc. If there's any of these verbs that you don't know the meaning of en anglais, I'd like you to look them up. Okay, so those are the verbs that take être in the passé composé. Okay, in order to form the participe passé, okay, the past participle, which is the second part of our composé tense, with regular verbs, it's really easy. Okay, if you have a regular ER verb like regarder, parler, etc., all you need to do is add an E accent aigu. So you drop the ER and you add an E accent aigu. And like regarder, écouter, aller, acheter, manger. Regular ER verbs, they just get an E accent aigu. Regular IR verbs just get the letter I. So choisir in the past participle is choisi, obéir, obéi, etc. Rendre, if it ends in an RE, it gets a U, okay, so rendu, etc. Again, these are just regular verbs, past participles, okay. Now, of course, this is French. We've got some irréguliers, okay. So I'd like us to just learn some of the irréguliers. If you have a reference sheet in front of you, you can go ahead and fill them out as I filled them out. Otherwise, this is something we've either already done or we'll do in class. But I want you to listen carefully as I pronounce them as well. Okay, and then we'll stop after this and do some practice to make sure we're understanding the passé composé. So, past participle of avoir is eu, two letters, eu. Past participle of vouloir is voulu, voulu. Okay, feel free to repeat after me as you're listening to this. Past participle of mourir is mort, mort. Okay, I'm going to put a star next to this because mourir actually is conjugated with être in the passé composé. Okay, so you'll see that mourir is going to be one of the few in this list of irregulars that it's going to be conjugated with être. Okay, venir is as well because that's another action verb, right? So venir, to come. So venir, the past participle is venu, venu. Right. Être is été, été. Devoir is dû, dû, with an accent circonflexe on the U. Naître, I'm going to put a star next to this one. This one's conjugated with être as well. Naître, être, they rhyme. Don't forget that. Okay, so naître Past participle is very simply ne. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a E, figure sign, but an E in parentheses next to all of these that take être. Oops. And you will see that these have to agree. Okay, so they could possibly have an E, they could have an ES. Okay, so I'll add that to this one. I won't do it to all of them, but so that's a possibility. We'll talk about that in a minute. So boire, past participle is bu, bu. Tenir, tenu, tenu. Pouvoir, pu, pu. Dire is dit, dit. I read to help you out. Ouvrir is ouvert. Okay, a little bit more irregular on that one. Ouvert. Faire is fait. Prendre is pris. Écrire is écrit. Conduire is conduit. Okay, sensing a little theme here. Okay. Voir is vu. Mettre is mis. Lire is lu. Courir is couru. Croire is cru. Savoir is su. Connaître is connu. Recevoir is reçu, with an accent cédille. And vivre is vécu. Okay, so there's your irrégulier. And again, you can go through and listen to this again for pronunciation if you need to, but let's go on and do some exercises to practice some of the regular and irregular of passé composé.